Hello everyone, welcome to the Frankie Fix channel, and I appreciate all the new subscribers and of course the current subscribers that have subscribed to the channel. It really helps me in the algorithm, so if you like the video, like it, and subscribe if you're a new visitor to the channel, because we do all kinds of things here, a lot of fixing things. We're going to get into some electronics, some vintage stuff, but today what we're getting into is a leaky shower valve. And so we're going to go ahead and take a look at the leaky shower valve. We're going to fix it. It is something that you can absolutely fix yourself. You don't want to go paying a plumber to come out and charge you a couple $100s to fix something like this. It is very easy to fix. All you have to do is make sure you have the right tools and make sure that you have the patience, of course, and make sure you turn the water off. There's a bunch of different things we're going to cover in this video. So I hope this video helps you out if you have a leaky tub faucet. And again, like I said, we're going to be doing all kinds of things on this channel. But with all that said, let's get right into it. Alright, so we're approaching the issue here, and we have the shower handle right here that we're going to have to remove. We'll have to remove that handle first. And then down below is where we had the leak, but it was actually leaking from the top as well. So we had to make sure we have a work light, and we have a bunch of tools that we're going to need. And so here's what we got. We've got an Allen wrench, we've got a Phillips screwdriver, some channel locks, some anti-seize. I like to put that on just for the future. And we also had some oil there. Now here's the part. It is a replacement cartridge. It is from Amazon, but it is a Delta replacement cartridge. You want to make sure you turn the water off wherever that is where you live. Make sure you turn that off. And we're going to get started with the handle here. The first thing we're going to need to do to remove that set screw, it's an Allen head, is use the Allen wrench. Now, it's a very tiny Allen wrench. Not sure what the size is, but if you have a collection, you'll find the right one. And we're just going to turn it, and I usually put something over the drain in case this thing falls out. And we have it exposed there. We can continue to remove it. Now we're going to have to remove these two screws. There's two Phillips screws that hold that ring on. It's just kind of a decorative ring, but it also mounts it to the valve itself inside. So we're going to take that off, and we'll pull the thing off there, and that's what we got there. And you can see that the cartridge body is exposed. We do have this piece right there that comes off, and I like to use the channel locks. And you're going to have that large nut on there, and just turn it. You don't want to get too crazy with it. But luckily that one wasn't hard to get off, but some of them can be. And that's what I'm going to use the anti-seize for later on, just for the future. So now we've got to pull the valve out. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit hard to get this valve out of there. Depends on how long it's been in there. But if you shimmy it back and forth, you can even take some channel locks or pliers, you know, put them on the end, and you can pull it out that way. I wouldn't worry about damaging it since you're going to replace it anyway. So there's our valve, and you could see there's a large crack in it that shouldn't be there. So that's why it was leaking from there. So we're going to go ahead and clean the wall off, clean the marking from the seal that was behind that round plate, to get it nice and clean. And once we have that all clean, I'm going to clean the inside of the body, the cartridge body there. And we have the new one, and I like to put the date on it. Kind of wrote the date on it with marker. And I'm going to use some oil just to put around the washers there, and just rub a little bit inside, just so it's easier for this new cartridge to slide in there. So I'm just putting some on the cartridge seals, just so when I push that in, it's going to go in properly. Now on these, there's a little arrow, and then there's a little slot in the housing, so you really can't mess this up. So you just press it in there, make sure it's nice and solid in there, and then I'm just going to use some anti-seize on the threads there before I put my large nut back on, just for the future so I don't have any issues. Now this particular kit was supposed to come with that nut. It showed it in the picture on Amazon, but of course when it came it didn't have the nut, so that's kind of upsetting, but I was lucky that I was able to reuse the one that I had. Then I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down with my channel locks, but I'm not going to get too crazy with it because we don't want to break anything, but we do want it nice and snug. So I'm just snugging it up there. Make sure it's snug. And then now I'm going to clean the kind of like the housing that slides over the body of the valve there. So I'm just cleaning that up. I'm going to slide that back in there. And now it's going to be time to reassemble it and put the round pieces back on. Now I am going to clean them up first, and I am going to clean that large round washer as well. Just kind of give it a good rubbing. You know, it's still in excellent shape. It's flexible. I don't see any issue with having to replace that. So that's where that goes. It's going to fit. There's a slot around this plate here, and it should fit in there. Now this depends on really what you have, but for mine, that's how mine works. Now the tough part here is sometimes lining up those bolts to the on the housing, trying to get the housing back in there. But first we have to put this ring on, and you could see those two holes there from when you took it off. That's where those long bolts are going to go in, and it can sometimes be like fishing, trying to get those bolts in there. So just try to be patient with it, because it can be a little nerve-wracking. So I'm just placing the bolts inside, and hopefully I can get them to grab onto some threads in there, because you're kind of going into it blind, although those are aligned in such a way if you get one of them in, then you're right in the area for the other one, so it shouldn't be too difficult. And then I'm just going to tighten these down with the Phillips screwdriver. Again, it's just plastic, at least mine is, so I'm not going to go crazy with it. Okay, so on these cartridges they have an anti-scald adjustment that you can set here, and basically it just adjusts the limit of the hot water, so you want to look at the directions and mess with the settings on that as well. Now since this was a universal kit that I bought a long time ago, I took off the piece from the old valve, and this is kind of a universal piece that will attach the handle. Okay, now I'm just putting the handle back on, so you can see the little set screw in there. I'm just turning it to the right to get this handle tightened down. Alright, now I'm just testing the handle out just to make sure it's working the way I want it to. It's smooth. And the moment of truth, it's time to turn the water back on. Let's see what happens. Alright guys, so as you can see, it really wasn't a hard job at all. It's definitely a job you can do yourself. Nobody likes leaks. If you have a leak, and particularly if you're a homeowner like I've been for 28 years or so, that's going to run your water bill up, and it's just not a good thing to do. So that's the fix for the Delta cartridge. You just have to make sure you find the right cartridge. Look at any model numbers you might have on the old part. I know for me, it's been in there for so long, I couldn't even remember whether it was a Moen, whether it was a Delta, but through doing some careful research, I did find the right part, and it went in perfectly. No more leaks. So if you liked the video, like it, subscribe. It helps me in the algorithm, helps me get out there. And I hope you come back again, because we have a lot more things to cover on this channel. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.